What it is, guys, coming through today, November the 4th, 2025. I have a specific video for this channel. Usually what I do is I have a couple of channels that I'm juggling. I have one that is tied to my passion and my purpose, and that's where I'm at usually. But I have this one as well because for years, a couple of years or so, I would say almost 3 years, I have been watching a whole bunch of Chosen One content, right? And it is the only thing that kind of opened my eyes to what is really the issue in my life. And I narrowed it down to either I'm cursed or I'm just chosen. I no longer think I'm cursed. And before, I just ran out the box like everyone, because now I do see Chosen One is trending and everyone's a chosen one, which makes no one a chosen one at that point. But everyone has this Chosen One content. But the real Chosen One goes through the most. And it's almost like you get punished for being bad. Being good. You get hate for love. You get screwed over for those that you try to do your best by. You kind of get the short end of the stick all the time, to the point where it became in my life, just run me the short end. Just give it to me because I know this is how this is going to play out. And after a lifetime of kind of being the bottom rung, you almost expect it. And then at that point, people start calling you negative. And it becomes your fault that all the bad things are happening to you. And it's just because you're not being positive. You're not speaking positive. You're not. So it's reflected back to you as being your fault, right? So in my life, anytime there's been an issue, I always try to work on it. So if it really is my fault and I am showing up in the world like, I want to really see it and then try to fix it, right? But I don't know, that's just not how others do. It's easier for them to just blame you. And I'm easy to just take blame. When I have things that happen, I try, even if I could blame the person, I try my best to figure out how I did something wrong in the situation and how I just should never do that again, right? So what brought all this on, I had the worst weekend. It has been so challenging. And you can tell when there is warfare around a certain thing. And I'm going to tell you that it was almost like the moment I prayed and gave thanks to God for being in a certain situation was the moment that situation just completely turned and backfired on me. And this would happen quite often where you thank God and you're like, oh, well, at least it's not this. And then it turns around and becomes worse than it was. And in the past, it used to kind of discourage me from giving thanks. Like, I want to give God thanks for this situation, but just because I thank Him, I don't want things to be sabotaged. Right? We're just so crazy. But I learned that you have to, with your prayers, with your thanks, you have to bind them from any backlash or retaliation from the enemy. Because he loves to use those things when you thank God for something or you it just completely changes. It has never been easy for me to live with another individual. And it is not because I take up too much space. It is because people do not respect boundaries. Y'all know that if you're chosen one, they do not respect boundaries. And as an empath, I had a hard time setting boundaries. Like, I always felt like I don't do this to people, so I just expect you not to do it to me. But the world does not work like that at all. Like, people will do almost anything to you. And if you don't say anything, if you say something, they're going to get mad or retaliate against you. Or if you don't say nothing, they're going to just think you're okay and just keep doing it. So you're darned if you do, darned if you don't. So I've never really it's never been good living with someone. If you allow someone to live with you, they kind of, and it's been a couple of different times I've had someone live with me, and it always plays out this way. And it was like I had a thought that, wow, look where God brought me from, because I was living with somebody and it became horrible. It became to the point where I didn't even want to come over there, and I didn't want to even be at my own apartment. And then people start thinking, because you allow them to live with you, that your stuff is now their stuff somehow. Like, if you wait long enough, it's theirs, right? So it was a horrible situation. And people always come in saying how, oh, I'm going to do this. We're going to split this. I'm going to, and then they kind of don't ever keep up their part of the bargain. And it ends up being you picking up a lot of slack, right? Picking up a lot of slack. And I could say this has pretty much been my whole life in almost every situation. And I can almost equate this to why I'm not very stable in my life, why I have not gained to a certain level in life, because I've too much been trying to help others, and I get screwed over in the process. And then I'm always having to start over. I'm always having to recover from something someone caused in my life. And I do know it is my fault, because I keep going and helping. I keep being that person you can turn to. And I honestly don't know how to not be that person, because it does hurt me to see people without and going through, but it does not hurt the same people to see me without and going through. So I was like, the person that was staying with me at this time, I was like, wow, like, they're actually coming through. It's a lot better. Thank you, Lord. I'm glad that but they were kind of falling behind a little bit, which I understood, but I got sick myself, and it threw me behind, right at the beginning of this year. So they kept saying they were going to get it together. They would miss, certain things we would have to divide. They would miss the payments on them, and then I have to pay it, or I would have to pay it and wait to get paid back. And it just became more burdensome. And I don't work that much. I can't work that much because I am disabled. So I have limited money, but it felt like if they just drop the ball, then I just got to figure it out. So I prayed and I asked the Lord to please make it where I do not need this person at all, to where I do not need any, if they miss the bill, then I'm still good. I can still pay my own, bill. And I prayed that, and almost the moment I prayed that, the person stopped paying completely. And I'm like, well, hold on, I still got this coming up, that bill coming up, that bill coming up. My bill started just surmounting and stacking up on me. And the person was utilizing the things that cause the bills, but was not paying anything for like over 3 months, 3 to 4 months. So I kept asking, look, I cannot handle this. It's too much. Things are getting higher and higher and higher. I'm not making that much more money. And I had taken out the last of my retirement fund, which was nothing. I know I cannot retire on for that. I had about 5,000. I took half of that because another issue is because of the falling behind, I had to use my credit cards, and now my credit cards are to their max, and the minimums are so high. So just paying all those minimum high balances and only being able to make the minimums, never being able to make a dent in my credit card balances, it leads me to think I'm going to always be without money. Like literally, I get paid and I'm in the hole on that day, and I got to get through a whole nother week. I'm taking cash advances. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. So I did not want to sell the last of the last of the last of my retirement fund. That's all I have nothing else. And I really need to get these credit cards out of my life. So I took half of it rather than taking the whole thing and depleting the whole fund. I took half. And I said, I'm going to pay my credit card. I'm at least going to pay one. It's not enough to pay all my credit cards off. So I was trying to figure out how I was going to pay one or two. Really, I think I could only pay one and pay the other one down. The moment that I got the fund, this person didn't pay nothing else and was still like running things up. So I'm like, my gosh, are you gonna, I'm trying to get it together. I'm trying to get it together. And I knew they were really trying to get it together. They got sick, but when I get sick and I can't work, like literally I can't, it's no help for me. So I understand that you got sick and you can't work, but if I don't get grace, how can I give you grace? Like this stuff is still due. So I took it and I was like, look, if this is not going to work, like literally I'm coming up to the end of the lease, we could just let it go. Just let the place go. And I can try to start over from scratch. I could try to go back, live with my father, do something until I can recuperate. The person tells me, no. I'm going to get it together. I'm going to get it together. I went through so much stress behind recertification at the complex. They put you through so much to renew each year. And then they were like, you have to sign your lease. So it's no longer like it used to be. You used to have a decent 30 days, but now they want to know far in advance. If you don't re-sign the lease, you have to pay thousands of dollars, and you can't even just find something so that you know that you can leave. It is set up so crazy, y'all, in this day and age. And it used to not be like this. It wasn't that hard to move back in, let's say, 2017. It wasn't all of the crap you go through trying to move in 2025. All of that paying application, you paid application fees, but holding fees and this and that. And if I don't, last time when I moved, I only was able to give 51 days. And because I didn't give 60-day notice that I'm not renewing my lease, they tried to charge me $5,000. Like, and that's where a portion of my retirement went then. And basically, lawyers were saying they can do it. They can do it. Big businesses allegedly can do whatever they want to us. So I'm looking at the bottom of my barrel. And I'm like, okay, but at least I can get rid of 2 of the credit cards. And the moment I took that money, I wasn't able to pay any credit cards. They completely stopped paying everything. And it caused that money to dwindle down. So now it's not enough to pay the credit card. So I'm like, look, this isn't working. Like, are you going to be able to get it together? Yeah, I'm going to get it together. I'm going to get it together. Because I even mentioned, look, I'm coming to the end of my lease. I could just let it go. They tell me, no, I'm going to get it together. Well, abruptly, sign my lease on Friday. Monday, I find out they're gone. I get there, they return everything, and they're gone. Like, literally,
Then there's that one point when your dad does something.
I'm like, are you kidding me? So now I'm stuck in a year lease because can't even break. It costs almost $3,000 to break a lease. Even if, let's say, you find something else, it costs you about $3,000 to break that lease because you're in that lease. Like, it feels like they're getting us any way that they can get us. But I'm like, how? I asked you. But yeah, I feel dumb. I feel like, because really what I should have did was best for me. And when they kept telling me they were going to get it together, I should have felt like, look, I'm sorry, but I got to think about me first. I'm closing this up and I'm getting out of here. But I felt so bad about that because I thought they would have nowhere to go. They waited right until I signed that lease to not even tell me, to just leave. Wow. And this was someone that because I've tried a lot of, this is why I don't deal with a lot of family, a lot of friends, I don't have friends. I barely have anyone in my life because I would rather, because most times you're not going to be real. I just try to stay alone, and I try not to need nobody, to need nothing from nobody. I try to be self-sufficient as much as I can. But I still extend help when I can. I don't be so isolated that when people need me, I try to not be there, which is the best way to be, because I keep getting done wrong. But in reality, I had to realize that, and it's so strategic. I promise you, the moment I said that prayer of thank you, that this is a better situation, the situation immediately started falling apart. And then when I prayed that God would make it where I do not need that person, period, that's when it just completely shattered. So I know this is the enemy trying to stop me. To stop me from praising the Lord, for praying, It was a point in my life where I used to say, I'm not even going to pray anymore. Anytime I pray, I get the freaking opposite of what I pray. No, 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 no. I'm going to pray. I'm going to pray. I'm going to give thanks. I'm going to praise the Lord. And I know that He is, something good is going to come out of this. Even though this is hurting, I don't even know how. I am disabled and I can